This is to anybody that would like to answer this. In addition to my role in the committee, I chair also the Cyber Subcommittee and Armed Services Committee. And a reoccurring issue that has come up in my conversations with Ranking Member Senator Rounds is our security clearance process. Are veterans who receive security clearances during their service at great cost to the taxpayer? And it's coupled with the experience, it gives them a competitive edge in the private sector when they transition. My question is this: are we adequately taking advantage of transferring their clearances to influence more hiring appeal for our veterans?
Thank you for the question. What I would tell you is that one of the things that we will do with this eightfold AI partnership that we will be starting in the later this fall around November is really looking at the information that that veteran has to offer in terms of their skills, their abilities, their credentials, and even some of the skills that you wouldn't typically see on a resume. But obviously, clearance can be a very valuable asset. And so that would be something that would be incorporated into this electronic matching system to help identify this service member and eventually veteran as somebody who has a clearance so that they can be matched up with jobs that require that, because that is clearly a critical asset. I don't know if my VA colleagues have anything to
No, it does. I know it's extremely valuable. I know how hard it is and how long it takes, but when they have this type of experience level and they already have a clearance, I don't know, are we having a hard, I guess my follow-up would be, how would you change the program to enable federal, state, and certain privately owned businesses to hire a veteran that already has the security clearance?
I
That should not be an impediment. It should be a tremendous asset.
Indeed, it is a tremendous asset. So I'm not an expert on the security clearance process, but I can tell you what I'm trying to
Okay.
express here is that we will leverage that asset and make sure that when we're marketing this individual to employers, that that is clearly articulated, that that's an asset that they hold, so that we can match them up to those jobs that are in high demand.
Yeah. Well, there might be a person that might not match up for the job, but they have the clearance and people are looking for clearance, and maybe they can make that job turn into something very beneficial for them. I wouldn't rule them out. Just that there's just not that many people, and it's hard to get clearances today. So I would use that as a tremendous valued tool. My other question is, on a given day, West Virginia has about 90 to 100 VA vacancies. We have four VA hospitals and hundreds of other across the federal government, as you know. What can we do to incentivize more veterans to apply to these federal job openings? How can we lower their barriers so that they're able to enter when applying?
Senator,
Anybody?
this is a yes, sir. Senator, from the VBA perspective, I can tell you there's a phenomenal opportunity right now to increase veteran hiring and to assist with our backlog and the effects of Blue Water Navy, the addition of presumptive conditions. We're hiring more than 2,000 claims processors. There's 2,000 opportunities for veterans to raise their hand and join what I think is the greatest mission of the federal government, and that is serving those that have served. We will continue to look at opportunities to bring veterans into the federal workforce, and through our VRE program, and this kind of goes to your first question, of our 964 vocational rehabilitation counselors and our 70 plus employment coordinators, they will look at the strengths and the skill sets and the things that veterans bring to the table.
Let me follow up, Mr.
Find the
Burke, if
right
I can follow up. It's my understanding that the USA jobs process is unnecessarily difficult. So have any of our witnesses today successfully been hired through the USA jobs? And what are your unfiltered thoughts? Just give it to me if we can help you. That's all.
Sir, to be honest with you, I haven't applied for a job through USA Jobs in many years, so I have no
Do we know
recent
anybody that
experience.
has and the difficulties you might have run into?
Thank you for the question. I'll actually take that. I am a mentor. I mentor transitioning service members, and I have helped them navigate the USA job system. It can be complex. I will tell you that one of the key things about the USA jobs system is you have to have attention to detail. There are questions asked in the system that you have to answer, and you have to upload all of the requirements. So yes, can it be complex? It can be.
How can we streamline it? How do we streamline it? I mean, you're seeing it from the inside out, and I appreciate you being so honest with us on that. Help us fix that. So it sounds to me like an average person is not going to be able to go through this process unless they have help from someone like yourself.
I'm happy to take that. I think that one of the challenges is that when you submit your resume for a federal job, it doesn't always have all of the components that we need in the federal environment to evaluate. For example, do you have veterans preference? Do you meet the key qualifications? And what we don't want to do is take a chance on missing a really qualified candidate because their resume didn't capture all the items. So it is, I think, a balancing act in order for us to make sure that we can get all the qualified candidates in the door by giving them the opportunity to add the additional information that may not be on their resume.
Thank you so much. And again, I want to thank the chairman for doing such an outstanding job with all the help of his ranking member, Senator Moran. They do a fantastic job running this committee. Thank you both.